Okay, Dr. RJB here, and um, today what I want to talk about was pulmonary embolism. Um, now, um, excuse me, the uh, 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 pulmonary embolism basically means clot in the lungs, um, and frequently the cause for getting a clot in the lung um, is clots that have started in the legs. Uh, Now, recently, I just read on one of the news reports that I found on AOL. They were talking about one of the celebrities who passed out. And when they checked the person at the hospital, the reason they passed out was because of a pulmonary embolism, clot in the lungs, and also clot in the legs. Um, Clots in the legs frequently can go to the lung. So anytime we find a blood clot in the legs, we always try to check the lungs just to be on the safe side, that there's not also a clot in the lungs. Um, Blood clots in the legs can occur from sitting long periods of time. The blood becomes pretty much stable in the area. And because it's not moving around too much, it's more likely to develop blood clots. When our blood is moving properly, usually it doesn't have a tendency to clot. But anytime it sits for any length of time in an area, it can be a problem. So by sitting all day long, having the legs become congested with blood, you have an increased risk of that. Um, Also, any kind of injury to the leg can cause a blood clot. Um, One of the times we see blood clots in the leg can be after surgery of the knee. Um, After the surgery, the knee may swell up, um, and that causes pressure on the veins below the knee, and those veins can sometimes develop into clots. Also, when you have surgery on your knee, it's not that easy to get around, so you may be doing a lot of laying around or sitting around. And because of that inactivity and because of the swelling, those two things cause increased risk for blood clots. Because of this, frequently when somebody has surgery on their leg, the surgeon will put them on a blood thinner after surgery just to decrease the risk of that blood clot forming. Um, Another possibility, like I said, was injury. And again, any kind of an injury can cause the problem too. So let's just say you are playing basketball, and when you come down from a shot, you strain your calf muscle. That injury can develop into a blood clot. Or you're playing football and somebody hits you on the leg where that injury is in the leg. You can develop a blood clot there, and that can basically lead to blood clots in other veins in the leg. Um, when you have a clot that's in your leg, um, uh, the blood flow from the leg goes back toward the heart and the lungs eventually. So it is possible to develop blood clots in the lungs. Now, blood clot in the lung, like I said, pulmonary embolus is called. And pulmonary embolus can be a very serious condition. Um, when you have a clot in the lung, the, um, the area where that blood clot would feed will no longer work properly. So you can have a situation where a portion of the lung cannot properly exchange oxygen. Um, Now, if the blood clot is huge, um, affecting large blood vessels in the lungs, then basically you don't have an opportunity to exchange any oxygen. So at that point, a blood clot in the lung can be fatal. Um, uh, Anybody who has blood clot in the lung definitely needs to be on blood thinners for life. Um, um, Somebody who has a blood clot in the leg because of an injury that's a freak injury, they may be treated with blood thinners for 3 to 6 months, and frequently they'll be able to take that person off of the blood thinner medication once the blood clot has been rechecked and is stable or is disappeared. Um, uh, uh, the the risk of that then going to the lung is not so great. Um, so basically, if you're having chest discomfort, breathing difficulty, um, uh, which are symptoms of a blood clot, it's something to be checked out. Obviously, chest pain, breathing difficulty could be because of heart problems, but it could also be because of the blood clot in the lung. So basically, if you get in a situation like this, you probably need to go to the emergency room and be checked out. Better to be feeling foolish than to have a serious condition that needs to be treated right away. Okay, all right, take care, and talk to you in the next video.